if you guys are new here, basically the way that it works is that there are two channels right above the stage here. We have VC Create and VC Text. In VC Create is where you can prompt with us. You can generate images with us. You can remix each other's work. You can do so much stuff with VC Create. It's kind of ridiculous. But it lets us be able to very quickly and very easily riff off each other to make things together. So I highly recommend jumping into VC Create and messing around with some of the other stuff people post. And then in VC Text is where you can chat with us today, which is what you're seeing on the left side of my screen. You do have to click on my little icon here to maximize it. But Discord isn't really meant for doing what we're doing. We kind of hacked it to make it work, right? So just click on my little stream video feed here. That'll maximize your view of it, full screen it, whatever, and we'll be able to start collaborating this way together. So you can see that Miss Nameless has already come back. Spooky Time Lord brought her C-ref back, character reference, and essentially what you can do is you can very easily take that C-ref or take any part of their prompt and make it your own, right? So we're going to be kind of like collaborating on Discord all the while I am demonstrating new things on the website for you guys. Well, I know we're going to get a good chunk of Discord users coming through here, so I hope I don't alienate a bunch of y'all by jumping back and forth from the website to the Discord, but we're going to have a lot of fun doing what we're doing here today. And it's going to take a lot of interaction with VC Text particularly, because I'm going to ask you guys to be sharing memes with me today. Yes, we are going to be doing a meme stream today, and you'll see why in just a minute. The new website, the website itself has a new function here called edit. And as of Wednesday, for users, it's not available to everybody, so you might need to check if this link works for you. I think I'm allowed to post this inside of VC Text here. So this should bring you to the new editor, this link here in VC Text. And essentially what we want to do is we want you guys to submit images for us all to mess around with inside of this new editor, because for the first time you can actually use your own images as the base for Midjourney, including in painting and doing a lot of the stuff we really only had access to inside of Photoshop beta and a couple other AI companies. So it's really exciting time for us to be able to take existing works now for the first time and start manipulating them with the new editor. So I can use one of the images I've generated, but it's a lot more fun to actually take things that we're familiar with, because we recognize them. It's the stream of meme. Yes, it's the stream of meme. Well, but we're gonna take some things that we're familiar with here and start generating off of those. So I'm gonna post an example for you. What is it? Just a little thing that got me going with this. So let me get these off of the screen here. Okay. So I will post the first one inside of VC Text. Actually, I'll just post the first example. I'll have both images here. If you guys are familiar with my comic series, it's set in a office space in the mid 90s, right? Early to mid 90s. And I used a image from The Office, the TV show The Office, and using the new editor, I was able to take, and I'll actually blow this up on here for you guys to see. I was able to take this still of two characters from The Office who, it works better if it's thematically kind of similar, right? Like even when it comes to genders and stuff, this helps to kind of get them to match closely. But I was able to get my characters now showing up here in a very similar posing and structure, just simply using the new retexture feature with my character references, as well as my style references for the comic series. So it has a ton of potential because we can quickly go from real life to anime or whatever you want to do. And we still have, you know, a lot to do in terms of in terms of the bit, like understanding this new tool, because it's not perfect. You'll see tons of examples of what we're going to be making today that may not pan out the way that we want them to. Was this in one prompt? It was mostly like, I'll show the whole workflow here in a moment. I troll for you. But the idea here is that we can take like a GIF of this, like Michael dancing here, right? And use existing character references to make Michael doing this dance, basically. So I'm gonna see what you guys have just linked here. We got a link from Snoopy Time Lord and a link from the error GIF. Oh god. Okay, you got to pump those numbers up, rookie numbers. Okay, and this is just chaos of the error GIF. That's amazing. I'm not going to use that though. But we are going to grab an image link from this this link. Yeah, that one right there. That's the one that I think Snoopy posted. We're going to take it.
I'm going to try to make them work when I put them in the chat for you.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that. But we can hit edit here, edit from URL, and I'm going to paste that here. And you'll see that just like it is whenever you're uploading GIFs as your image weights, it'll only use the first frame from it. That's just how it is. But if we click on this new retexture tab here, we can actually run it just like a regular prompt. We won't be able to do variations off of it. We have to do something, an additional step to do that. But what we can do is we could start to replace like the actual prompt up top here with anything that we want to retexture this with. I'm not really going to care that there's text in there right now, but if I wanted to, I could go to edit here and highlight over the text now. Let's just do that real quick. And I'm just going to say in the prompt here, business suit, just to get us something to clean this up a little bit. And then I'll hit submit edit on here. And you'll notice the GIF keeps playing, which is kind of interesting. It doesn't actually refer to any other part of the GIF or any other frames of the GIF, but it will show you this. It will show you the GIF while it's rendering, which is kind of funny to me. But we'll go ahead and get the text out of there, so the result's a little cleaner. And let's see what we got here. We got 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go with this one here, the fourth one. Okay. And now we will go back to the retexture tab. See how fast I'm able to do this? It's ridiculous. But what we're going to do is I have a, inside of my Discord here, I have a server, or sorry, I have a place called the Character Portal, which I highly recommend you guys messing with. This is a place to submit your characters. We have some new ones. We got Lombard the Dragon. I'm very curious to see how you guys play around with this character. We have Duality, which is kind of like a Victor-inspired one from what I saw, which is pretty cool. I love seeing that. We got Miss Nameless from our last stream. We got Akari, so on and so, and Kinky, of course. Like, you guys are welcome to submit your own OCs, like yourselves, into the Character Portal, because what that means is that every time somebody updates your entry, you get a ping, you get an update about what your little virtual character is doing inside of the Midjourney, the universe of Midjourney. Okay, so I think that's super cool. It's amazing to see some of these adventures. Like particularly Kravis has like the longest. He's like 220 comments in now, and you could just kind of scroll through and explore his story and stuff. He loves blowing up towers with fire, like things like that. It's just super fun to kind of get into your all's characters, and especially to have them cross over, which is hopefully what we'll be able to do with the new retexture function even better now. So what I'm going to do is we're working with this image here. So I'm going to go up to the top of the Character Portal, and I'm going to search for Michael because that's one of my characters. And we have Michael here. Okay. A lot of characters like fire a bit too much. That is certainly true, Swiki. We're all a fan of the chaos behind fire. But inside of here, I have all of the CREFs for Michael, and you can post updates to him if you wanted to, like, you know, continue his story at all outside of my comics. But I'm going to just copy his entire CREF here, his entire character reference, which is just a series of links that show Michael from different angles. And so I'm going to now hop on over to the Midjourney website, and we're just going to write the prompt as, let's do business meeting. Just describe what we want in this image. So we have a business meeting, and then I'm going to paste the actual character reference into here. And the Midjourney website automatically converts this character reference chain of links, as long as hyphen cref is in the front of that, it'll automatically make them all character references. So you don't have to manually click on each character here. But we're just basically going to submit this as a character reference. If I just do Michael as himself here, the style of the art will actually randomize from Midjourney. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab the style references for the Sage comics. This will help keep the world kind of in tune to the comics that I already make. So the way that I do that is I have that saved inside my account, but I already posted all those style references for you guys, both on my server and here inside of VC Create. So I'm just going to copy them here. That's what resulted in this. But I'm just going to copy that here and then add that as well. And you'll notice that the whole string of thing, like at the end here, now we have the style references for the Sage comics attached to this as well. Okay. So we have a character reference for Michael, style reference for the Tumbling Up comic series. But here's the last bit. This is the thing that I kind of like when I realized that this is what I needed to do. Because I have the style references, you can also use a style reference of like, you know, comic books or anime or something. Like there's a couple of them that have been recommended to me that are specifically there to recreate certain like anime aesthetics and stuff. But instead, I have trained my Midjourney account using the rating system to specifically output usable stuff for my comics. You can do this by going to the tasks tab here and then doing 200 rates or so will give you a personalization code. My code will come up if I just write -p in here. I will share the results of that and also the code here in just a moment. But I wanted to get this started here because we can only do this within version 6.1, not within Niji. So our reliance on the anime-only data set, we don't have right now. So all this said and done, combining the style reference, the character reference, and my personalization code with a generic prompt that basically describes what we want. After all this, I should be able to now hit submit retexture. And it takes longer to explain what I did than just doing it. But you can see that it auto-filled my personalization code into the prompt already. And we're just going to see what this gives us. It takes a little longer to render than it does on a normal prompt. So just keep that in mind too, that even though I'm in turbo mode to like generally do things, I don't think it applies the same or evenly in the new editor. So we'll see how this goes. But I'm also very curious because depending on what we are trying to do here, we may want to increase or drop the stylization of it to match our comic series more or less, okay? You can already see, all right. Yes. Okay, let's check out the 4 results that we got. We got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, all right. So all these kind of work in their own way for me, right? The one thing you're going to notice, like this one to me is funny, is that it is going to keep to form of whoever the actor is inside of the retexture feature. But look how much work it did for me in terms of making the suit, making the outfit. Like all of it is basically right in terms of the line weight and color choices. But we want to come into here now, and let's just take this one, and we're going to hit edit. And we are going to just fix his hair. Like we want to find everything that's kind of wrong about it, right? So it would be like the end of his hair here. He normally has these 2 little spikes that stick out the front. So let's do that. And I can't actually see anything wrong with the rest of it so far. He does have a cut in his eyebrow, but I do that manually to be kind of like a signature. So let's just go with this, okay? And because, look, I already have the character reference in there. I already have my personalization code as well. I should just be able to hit submit to this edit. And because it's relying on that character reference, we are able to basically just magic erase any issues and get the correction in there. Sage is a little more exaggerated, so there's some more fun to be had with Sage when it comes to trying to like, put her into different scenarios. So I want to see what sort of memes and things you guys have, want me to throw in, either my characters or your all's characters, whoever you guys want to do. You're going to be able to just quickly get this done now. So you can see that it tries to bring that hair back the way that it should be for Michael. And it's close, but I almost always tell, like, as I tell most people here, like, you're gonna want to have the expectation of doing some manual cleanup, right? So with this one though, I do want to try going a little farther. Let's try selecting the half of the face here. Okay, so we already have the two prongs of his hair up here. Let's get rid of these two. And then I want to flatten the back of his hair here because his hair is a little too round. Okay. And now we'll hit submit on this one as well. Submit edit. There you go. So I love being able to take any meme, like anything that you guys do, and start to adapt this for your characters. I mean, the number, I've already seen 3 different people do the "this is fine" dog on fire. All right. So if you want to see your character kind of sitting there surrounded by fire, just describe that meme with that image as a retexture, and you'll be able to get your character doing that. So very easy to basically repurpose existing jokes, right? So now let's take a look at Michael at four different ones here. A lot of these are actually pretty good. Yeah, I'll go with this one, and then we'll the only thing I would have to do is either manually clean up this little arc that's here, or yeah, basically this is fine. This works. It works great, actually. So what I'm gonna do is because we want to make sure this prompt shows up there, I'm actually going to zoom on out of here really quick to get the upscale to gallery button. Bring that back down here. Okay. I have to do some weird scaling because of Discord, so I apologize about, sometimes some buttons get hidden by this. But for the sake of what we're doing here, it should explain it enough anyway. So let's try another image here. We'll take, let's zoom out. Okay, so we have this one, the kinky relinked here, of Pedro Monkey doing the shifty eyes. So let's copy that image address, and then we'll hit new here. So new. There we go. Okay. Edit from URL. I'm going to paste that URL. Okay. So now let's pick a character from you guys instead of one of mine. We'll pick one of your all's characters, and get him do the shifty eyes. Okay. Okay, let's just do kinky. Let's do kinky here. This will be fun. So
Nice.
I think this will work great. So we'll do this one here. We'll get this link here. These are all the image links from Legal Beagle when he was making kinky, or just like finessing Kinky's character here. So let's go ahead and now we'll go to retexture, and we have to get rid of Michael's character references. So we're going to click on the X for all these, except for the style references, because I'm going to keep the Sage and Michael comics for now. Then we'll paste these links. And you can see, because the --cref was not included at the front of that chain of text, we got to switch all these to character references by hitting the little dude on the bottom there of each image. It does help to kind of pre-write some stuff for this reason. I hope that we'll be able to save characters inside of our actual Midjourney website account soon, so that we'll be able to basically say, yeah, I want kinky in there. And then we just, same way we do with the /prefer option sets, we can just very quickly refer to our characters that way. Okay, so I've now set all these as a character reference. I have the style references set for the Sage and Michael comics. So we'll now, and I do have a personalization code on there in order to kind of encourage this anime aesthetic here. For you guys, I am going to post the personalization code inside of VC text for you guys. So that way, if you guys want to mess with the style that not the style, but the rules set for my account, you're welcome to. You just add that to your prompts. Okay, so instead of business meeting, we're gonna go shifty eyes. We'll just say shifty eyes. Why not? I have a very strong feeling that the prompt does matter, but it with character referencing on top of all this, it's like may not be. It may not have this much sway or weight behind whatever you write there, because character referencing is insanely powerful. It usually overwrites your prompts in pretty dramatic ways, and you'll see why I will need to finesse a certain parameter here in a minute. But Golden Pasta said, by the way, custom preferences when set in Discord does work on web now, not on edit yet, though, it seems. Yeah. It's I'm glad to hear that it works on the web, but yeah, I really do want it universal. Like, I just want it to be like there's a little tab that says my guys, my guys, and you could just drag and drop your characters into the prompts. That would be amazing. But let's do shifty eyes, personalization code, style reference, and character references all inside of this massive prompt here. So now I'm going to hit submit retexture, and keep in mind, if it doesn't give you what we want, we might need to either describe more cleanly, like more exactly what we want. But it's also true that the retexture function is going to be a lot more literal. So I'm very curious how much monkey, how much of the monkey shows up after this. Second serving of noodles said, I think this week I will develop a character. I love using your guys' characters and recognizing them. It is so much fun. To me, it gives real utility behind, oh no, Kinky. I don't want to see that image. But it gives real utility behind the stuff that you're like that you want to make. Like it's amazing what we're able to do by having our own characters inside of Midjourney and really be able to tell stories through that. These are we got one fun one. Let me get the link to this one. Okay, and I'll post this inside of VC Create for you guys and show you guys how to do that. So we want to hit upscale to gallery. Okay. What that's going to do is it's going to bring you to, oh no. Why do you make me play a video? Oh no. Oh God. The claymation. It's like an exposed brain. That's awful. It's great, but awful.
I didn't make it. I just brought him to life.
Good.
I think that was Noodles' character.
I'm not even gonna say that's a character. That's just that. Oh wow, it's hilarious. All right, let me grab this though, so you can see that it's currently finishing up for me. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use job ID in order to bring that into Discord for you guys. So we'll just give it another 20 seconds or so here to finish rendering. Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the little hamburger menu button here. I'm going to hit copy, and then under copy, it says job ID. You're going to click that, and then I'll hop ourselves back over to VC Create to see the monstrosities that you guys are making. Everyone needs a Miss Nameless button. Yes, exactly. Everyone needs a Miss Nameless button. Everyone does. Of course they do. It's a fact. Yes, I definitely want you guys to just be able to click a Victor button and get Victor. See you, Drolanak. Thanks for popping by, bud.
Hi, Drolanak.
Shishi. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use /show to bring up the, what is it? They can only be used in the new editor, but you can easily bring them to your gallery and start messing with them like anything else. So let me show you that. So, external editors are not supported. Okay, so I do have to grab it entirely as its own image. So that's fine. That's fine. We can make this work. So if I download this instead of using /show, I can then drag this into VC Create, post it as an image. Oops, why did that open up? Okay. Post that as an image here. This is what I was showing actually to another user here earlier today. So because we posted the link as just a link now, there's nothing that's stopping us from using that as an image weight. right? So we just post the link inside of /imagine, and then we can what is it? We can say she is surprised, or she is shifty-eyed, worried, or we need something that describes the shifty eyes. So she has shifty eyes. Just do that. Let's just say she has shifty eyes, and then I will now post the character reference for Kinky's character, CREF. Post that here, and I'm gonna hit NG6 just to get us an anime data set on this. And because we were using an image weight and we really want to follow this image faithfully, let's set a high image weight of 2.2. The highest is 3, but let's set it to 2.2. And we'll hit enter on this. I don't have any style references or anything like that attached to this. It's just the image weight 2.2 is going to take this very first link and make that dominate the result. The character reference is already going to massively influence the result. So what we're essentially why okay, is it the one with the microphone that I clicked? Okay. So like you can see here that the character reference itself dominates these results. Okay. We do have about the right angle, but the character reference is so strong that it now completely overridden the image weight almost entirely. So let's try to re-roll that and do now -CW, and then let's drop that to something like 25. Just so that the character reference has a lot less influence on the final result. Why is she holding a hamburger?
Reveille says that side eye might help.
Side eye? Oh, okay, yes, thank you. Yes, that'll definitely work. I appreciate that, Reveille. You won us with the match with MVP. Nice. Okay, let's go and we need to see what this result is first before I start inputting side eye into there. I'm just curious about this because we're essentially bypassing a current limitation with the editor, which is that we cannot do variations of the images inside of the editor. They're essentially kind of like in two different spaces right now. So we're just going, like you can see here, now we're a lot more punched into Kinky's face. And it's a lot closer to the angle of the original image here. So if we kind of do that side by side here, let's compare the third result. And oh no, yes, I saw the one that you up-resed here, and I love it. I love this burger face for Victor. Please abuse this. This is great. But I want to give you guys a side by side here. So we have about the right composition. You can notice that with the framing here that it gave, it's basically the same as the shifty-eyed one here. So we're a lot closer than we were before. But just by getting it as close as possible with the new editor, with this is a goofy result, but it's super close to the original, right? So we essentially are trying to retexture these memes to match our whatever materials we give. So it's a lot of fun to play with. I want to see images to bounce off of from you guys. I gave The Office as an example for me, just because it's a fun way to make very similar images. Like I could also do what is it? I'm blanking on the movie title now, but there's basically any film. Like if you want to do anything with the fantasy series that we have, we just take any fantasy movies that we like and we can repurpose those and see what it looks like to have our characters in there instead. So let's just take like Game of Thrones or something, right? Okay, wait, before I just do an open search on Game of Thrones, I have to I have to take that off the screen. Just in case we don't see anything we're not supposed to here. Let me
no dragon sex.
Exactly. Yeah. Please no intense sex scenes, please. Let's go and so who could tell me so I could go. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to grab one scene. Let's see. So what's a good idea for this is to actually put the word screenshot in whatever film or thing you're doing, just so that it's an actual scene, not like a still or a promotional image that's used. That will definitely help you get an image that is more more memorable, more like what the films or TV shows you've been watching. So I'm going to grab. I should probably take a specific character. Like, yeah, let's try. Oh, sure, let's just do Daenerys. Why not? Why not? Okay. That's a really small picture. Hold on a second. Sorry, guys. Okay. I'll just take this one. That's fine. So I have let's go to edit and say new. And then we're going to import from URL. Grab this picture. So there's Daenerys, of course. And I by the way, I remember something that I heard recently that was like, how to tell you have like the millennials are having kids is the number of like Daenerys and other kids that are like getting into preschool and middle school now and stuff. It's I still cringe honestly at anyone that has like a popular TV show name because it shows you what round when you got pregnant, you know, when you started having kids. But let's grab Sage's character references as well as the because we already have the style references still in loaded up in my Midjourney account here. So I'm just gonna get rid of Kinky here real quick and
Get rid of me.
Get rid of you.
And also, Jax from Sons of Anarchy. Every boy that was named Jax.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's definitely trends that are caused by popular media when it comes to kids' names today. Bazinga, yeah, your parents really loved you if they named you Bazinga. I can tell you that. Let's grab. I gotta get my links more handy here. Boop and boop. I have all of the characters inside the character portal, but I've just kind of put them to the side here really quick. So, okay, copy this. Yeah, Hero Forge is great source of posable character designs to use as a reference for retexture mode. Oh yeah, go nuts. So let's grab now. We have Sage. I'm gonna set her as a character reference here. Okay. And it's going to give Daenerys pose, but it's going to be her in a suit, okay? So if we don't want that, we got to lower the character weight on this. But I'm going to first say the queen, just the queen as the prompt, and then hit submit on this, okay? Oh, no edits were made. That's right. We got to go to retexture and then hit submit. Okay, now that we have that going, I definitely want to do one with a much lower character weight. So --CW. And then we'll set that to 20. And this is going to make it far more properly queen-like, but have sort of Sage and her art style at least complement those two. If I didn't include any of the style references for the Sage comics, the style would vary so dramatically that it would be harder to recognize by characters, I've found. So once I have these in here, though, we can take a look at, well, actually, while that's rendering, let's just take a look at what you guys have been doing inside of VC Create here. Burgers. Oh, look at this. Did you see Miss Nameless Monkey? Oh, wow. That looks great. Oh my God. That does look amazing. Good job. That's awesome. Let's see. We got some tints here. Okay, there's Fractal Bob's Daenerys. Nice. No, she's so sad in front of the tints.
I love how that image of me is just staying at the bottom of the screen. It's cute. The side-eye one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. There you go. Cool. All right, let's take a look at what the results were here. Okay, all right. So here are the results of the Sage Daenerys ones. Wow. So let's first look at which ones are which. So this should be the ones with the lower character weight. Actually, do they all? Okay, yeah. So the first four here, or so the top four here are with the lower character weight. Okay. And then the bottom 4 here is with the default character weight, or it's set at 100 here. So she's got a suit on and stuff here. I'm going to take this one though, because I feel like this one has the best expression, like the best matching expression to Sage. And I'll just give that to you guys here. But we can go back to edit now. And if we wanted to have her with this pose, but within the office, right? The office, my comics are set in, we can actually just remove the background entirely on her, and anything that doesn't really match Sage herself, right? Like she doesn't normally have this sort of flowy hair, right? But we can, however, build it back in pieces. Okay. So we'll generally select this area here, something like this. Okay. And because we have her character reference still in here, I will say the queen of the office, just to kind of slowly encourage the result to be something more like what we're aiming. Because right now, that original image is not being referenced at all. It is back here. Like we are now referencing this result instead. So as we keep bouncing around and basically wobbling our way through the noise, we eventually create something that we can recognize, and a pose we can recognize, but is a character that we have. Let's zoom out here really quick. It was Victor, that monster. Wow. Look at that. That's awesome. Okay, let's take a look at the results of this here. Still rendering. All right, there you go. So you can see here how I was able to build it back up in pieces to preserve the pose, right? But we are generally speaking, we are able to let's pick. I think that one's probably the most accurate to Sage. Yeah, let's do this one here, and now let's do another edit. This time, only focusing on the stuff we know doesn't like is no longer the office, right? So we want to get everything from the background here. And because we will no longer be relying on the character reference, we're actually going to get rid of it because we're focusing only on the background, right? So we're going to say office space, or 90s office space as the prompt. Keeping my personalization code in there because, again, we are relying on version 6.1 for Midjourney. So that means that we can't just be like, give me anime only by using Niji. That's fine. The personalization code really knocks it out of the park for being able to both do a style reference and also keep it in line with, like, I want Midjourney to only give me stuff that's usable for me. And so we just kind of come into here, and I'm going to get rid of her character reference after I run one with it, just so you guys can see what happens, and then submit that. So one has a character reference, the other one does not. Otherwise, the prompts are the same. Okay. All right. So the ones that have the character reference attached are these 4. So let's take a look at them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can see it didn't force her character to be referenced at all. I was mostly worried about it adding things like suddenly the edge of her elbow would be not a jacket anymore. It would be like her button, like the white top that she's wearing in her character reference. But it looks like it did actually a pretty decent job. And I like this second one a lot because you see the back of the office behind her. But now when we remove the character reference, okay, you'll notice that her hair is allowed to shift a little bit more. And also the background is a little bit more, it's at least a little more randomized in my opinion. It's very, very subtle difference, but I like the first one here and I like the second one here. So let's go with this one, but let's try to force it so that the back of this chair makes a little more sense. Okay. So we can just come into here, highlight, select the back side of this chair. And I don't really like how sort of floppy the bottom of her jacket is here. So let's also get rid of some of this here and some of this. Okay. And again, I'm not trying to like necessarily do anything specific outside of just get rid of the things I don't like. Okay. So I'm going to just submit this as just a blanket sort of magic erase function. If it doesn't do what we want it to do, then we just kind of lean it with either image weights or changing the prompt around until it does what we want it to do. For the most part, though, it's really just a matter of finding the things that you guys want to riff and make jokes about, right? So I do see there's another link here, so let me open that one up. Going to work, then going to work to pick up my check. Okay, yeah. This meme right here. Going to work and going to work to pick up my check. Yeah. So we'll do both of those, and see what we get off of that. But let's take a look at the chair here and see if it fixes it. It looks like we want to get rid of the top of the chair instead. So let's pick one where the elbow looks nice, at least for the sake of her jacket. Yeah, I'm going to go with the fourth option here. And then I'll hit erase again. And this time I'm going to only focus on the top side of this. You'll notice that because we got rid of her character reference, her hair is a little bit messier than it was before. And she doesn't have this swoop in the front. She has a kind of a bang that goes over to the side a bit normally. So we'll reintroduce her character reference to fix the last little details up. So we have this here, like so. And then I want to get that hair to actually have that swoop, that little slide that she has. I get called out about that a lot on Reddit, actually, that her direction of her hair swoop is different. If I was really smart about this, I would have done a center part for all of my characters so that I didn't have to worry about the direction of the hair on every panel. It would have saved my life a lot of time if I would have done that early. But what we're going to do, though, is we are going to now grab Sage's links again here. Let me grab that real quick. And we just reintroduce the character reference again, because we're putting intent behind our magic erase to try to bring back these character details. So let's now hit submit on this. We don't have any lower character weights, so this should do its best to try to be as faithful as possible to the character reference to do these additional fixes here. And because we don't reference a chair or anything else in the prompt too, hopefully it just deletes that and we can see what it does. This whole workflow is so much more efficient than it used to be, guys. Like, it's so much better than it was. Kind of shocking how much easier this all became after doing this. But you can see we got the swoop, but it's kind of going in the wrong direction in one of these. It's kind of close. But it is certainly true that we are able to get it closer. Like, we got the back of the chair gone, which is huge for what we want to do. So let's go ahead and pick one of these. I'll say this one here. And I'm just going to select more of her head to try to really encourage this swoop to be there. And if we wanted to, we could use an image weight of just the top of her head to kind of really say, hey, this is how it has to look. But let's go ahead and submit this and see if that fixes that. I see we have a statement here from Golden Pasta. Good to see you, Golden. That's an inconsistency that even traditional artists do sometimes. Sometimes a frame looks better flipped from when it was normally drawn, but there isn't time to repaint the asymmetrical inconsistencies. Yeah, you really do. Flipping canvas is a really smart way to find if your drawing is actually balanced. Like the perspective, particularly perspective, makes sense. Were you going to say something, Ed?
Yeah. I actually had a question, a comment and a question. The first part was, have you ever thought about, like, now that you have the image editor, taking it out and manually flipping the whole image to the side that you want that swoop on?
Oh, yeah.
And then bringing it back and editing it that way?
Yeah, I just take the head and just flip it around sometimes. I literally just take the top of the head and flip it in Photoshop and then change the perspective. That works too.
Very nice. Also, there's always, like, in every long-term character's life, there's always, like, that time frame where, like, they make their ultimate switches before they become, like, a whole fleshed out character, like, the Simpsons, and but they were from, like, the Tracy Ullman show, and then eventually, like, they developed and ended up looking like they are now, you know? Or even Mickey Mouse from Steamboat Willie, like they evolve. Tell people that the characters evolve, man, and they can get over it. Ugh. About the soup. Soupy
Oh yeah, yeah. When it comes to particular, like if you look at the first issues of the Peanuts comics, like strips, you won't recognize the characters. they're like the thing is that whatever you currently define your character as is for the sake of telling a story. It's not for the sake of defining what is called a character Bible. You're really trying to give the seeds of inspiration as opposed to saying this is the hard rules for my character, that they only look a certain way, they only do a certain thing. One of the reasons why I've gotten this comment back about my work before, that my characters feel more alive or real than other cartoon characters, and it's because cartoon characters are two-dimensional things. Like you want them to be easily recognized, so they always wear the same shirt, like Rocko's Modern Life or something, where it's just always the same character design because that makes them recognizable. But the reality is, for me, is that my characters, they wear generally business attire. They don't constantly wear the same exact hue of color, shirt, whatever. And I try to do that specifically because, one, it leans into what Midjourney does well, which is randomize things. But also because it makes the characters feel like they have a wardrobe, like they actually have a life outside of the comics. And that's huge. It's huge to be able to tell that, these little connecting personal, like just these personal things with each other is just super fun to see. So I really like the randomness. I think it actually encourages my work to be more interesting and diverse because of that. But now there you go. So we have the hair swoop in there, by the way. Take a look. Bam! We got the swoop in there. It looks great, actually. So the thing is about this is now I have this inside of my editor here. I am going to copy this image, and instead of posting it in VC Create, I'm actually going to post this inside of the Sage Comics. I have an entire channel dedicated to just sharing these, so that'll be able to be used later as an image weight or image reference or whatever we want to use it for. It's now inside of this dedicated channel for the Sage Comics. So you can see I've been messing around with the new retexture function to like pose characters in unique ways, right? Like this is them laying on like a bed together. And by expanding out, we can create entire comics with a single image as the base. Okay. So it's really, really fascinating to see where your characters go inside of the edits, because you can make them interact with other characters. And I made Sage Sage as a younger kid interacting with this bird and getting like really, really freaking angry with it. It was too funny to me. So I wrote an entire comic around this that I will be releasing later. But yeah, so let's check out some of the stuff that you guys want to. Oh my God, it's Simpson character. Wow, that's actually really fun. In style of Tracy Ullman era Simpsons. That's amazing. Look at that. Nice. You got Willy Wonka in there, and then you got Kinky being Willy Wonka. That's awesome, guys. Let's check out some of the other stuff that you guys have made with this. Ooh, that's a really good reference for the back of Miss Nameless, by the way. Like, you should probably save this and isolate this image, right? In fact, if you're not going to do that, I'm going to do it for you. So let's copy this, take so whenever we want to encourage people to work on the images that we make, the best thing you can do is hit copy message link, and then wherever they're being shared. So for us, that would be inside of the Gnarly Comics server. We can now find Miss Nameless. She's inside of the character portal here. And I'm going to post the link to the actual message where this was generated, and then include a copy of the actual image, just so that people know what it is. The reason why is because if anyone now clicks this link, they'll be instantly teleported to this prompt, so they can do whatever they want to it. So if I say, like, let's make this square, then I will now have a square version of that inside of my feed that I can keep riffing off of. Super fun. Highly recommend you guys do it this way, because you're essentially giving a paper trail for others to hop in and start messing with it. So let's see what this is a little funky, but I got 2 of my characters in the meme template. So me, new game, heroes 3. Okay. And then fungi answers. And then the old workflow, new editor. I know, right? That's great. That is great though. But yeah, you can see just making it square really quick, I was able to rip off of someone else's work super fast with that link. So very, very cool. I like messing with this workflow a lot. It means that I'm able to quickly remix existing images that people will recognize. That's why I'm saying let's do memes today, because there are certain memes that people just simply know, right? I'm just going to like that. This is why I'm going to encourage you guys one more time. Okay, one more time. Inside of VC text, I'll zoom out here so you guys. Inside of VC text, please post like some of your favorite memes, because I'm going to start messing with this with you guys, and we're gonna work on Drake next. But I really want to see from you guys the kind of memes that we can start ripping off of. So if you hop on over to VC text just above the stage here, post your favorite memes, even if it's kind of niche. Sorry.
Just break in real quick. If you post a meme or a GIF and it doesn't come through, I'll change it into a real life. I'll just, I'll repost it so it does play,
Yeah, there are general user limits when it comes to some of the channels here. So we'll thank you for that, Kiki. I really appreciate that.
Nice.
So at this point though, we have Drake here, and I will need to open Photoshop to kind of make this work a little better. No big deal. By the way, the next Sage comic is going to be based off the song Birdhouse in Your Soul by They Might Be Giants. So if you're a fan of that song, then you're going to probably find my comic quite entertaining. I love that song a lot. But let's go ahead and let's grab Photoshop here. And oh, look at this. Look at Golden Pasta's. Nice. You just put Fulmer under there. That's awesome. Sweet. And as you guys keep sending them these memes, I will check them all out here in a minute. We're going to just start with Drake and then go from there. So let's go ahead and grab Drake here. Copy that. And then I have the tablet here. I'm going to hit new. You can use any image editor you want for this kind of stuff. For me, it works easiest to just copy and paste from Photoshop. So I'm just going to grab marquee of Drake here. And then I am going to hop us back over to the editor. And I will, in fact, I'm going to post this inside of VC Create to get 2 unique links for this. So let's do one, and then I'll grab the other image of Drake. And that hits it. We could actually do this with both images of Drake as one image, but I feel like this is going to work better. Well, maybe I'm wrong about that, because we want consistency between both Drakes, right? We want Drake to be consistent in both images. So let's do it both ways. We're kind of working off of the seat of the shoot at the hip here a little bit, but I'm going to copy this image, bring both of these Drakes into this image here. Let's try remixing this one, okay? So we need to go back to the editor here. We need to hit edit, and then I am going to let's remove Sage from this. We need to go to retexture, and we need to hit new. And then let's do from image URL. We'll grab the URL from the Drake image that we just made. Okay. So at this point, we need to decide who we're going to riff here. So let's go back to the image portal here, the character portal. And I think I know who I want to do for this one. Let's do Felix. Let's do Kravis here real quick. I don't know if you've updated the character reference at all, Felix, for this, but I am going to use whatever's on the top of your thread here. This enormous thread. I'm just going to use these links. Copy that. And to make this
a whole meme template in the chat for you. if you wanted it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I won't worry about the template itself, but yes, for some people, I think the template will be better. Especially if you want Midjourney to do some funny stuff with the template, for sure. But I do want to add -cref into the text here and then post the links just for myself to copy them really quick. Because now when I hop over to the editor here, why is Sage back here? Get rid of Sage. Okay. I can just paste this and now all the character references are replaced with Felix's character here. Okay. For the sake of showing or demonstrating this, I'm also going to get rid of the style references for the Sage comics and get rid of my personalization code as well, just so that we can really go fresh with this. Let's do a let's say that it's a fantasy character. And say two panels depicting a fantasy character. Let's just try to be as literal as we can about this, just for the sake of testing. So we have that character reference all set. Let's submit this. We'll see what we get for this one. Let's see. All right. Let's see some of the other memes you guys have got going on here. We have, hello, sir. Yes, this is dog. Oh man, we need more animal characters inside the character portal. It'd be funny to get a proper dog. Hold on, I can actually mess with. Ooh, okay, we're gonna get some executive level permissions changed here. Oh my God, Felix's character. Look at this. Look at this. It came out very painterly, but we got a reaction from Felix's here. I'm going to do the first one because the first one just makes me laugh really hard. So I'm going to copy that for you guys and get it inside of VC Create. There you go. So with a little bit of in painting, like the top of his head and all that stuff, you get 100% get Felix's character now to do the Drake meme. 100%. But what I want to show you guys, though, at this point is we also have a style reference for the fantasy project itself, which is what Felix's character is submitted to here. So we go to the Fantasy Nexus, okay? And you'll see that we have Gnome. We also have Phantasma. Gnome is a character that people have been using as a style reference, but I do recommend just trying with the Phantasma first, just to see what we get. Some really cool, crazy videos that you guys have been making with the fantasy series, by the way. I cannot wait to use this stuff. Super freaking cool. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to the top of this. Okay. This is also pinned, by the way. Like we could just click on the pinned messages, but I am now going to grab the style reference, which is this image here. Actually, let's go for the first image. There you go. And I'm going to copy the image address. And then I'll hop us back over to the editor. Okay. And then I'll paste that image and then set it as the style reference. Just like we did with the Sage comics earlier, right? Where we set those as the style reference. We're now setting the fantasy series as the style reference, which is just one image. And now let's retry this meme with this style reference. I'm also going to retry it with my personalization code because, again, my personalization code is designed around the idea of making usable assets for comics. So that makes certain like filigree, like certain randomness not really appear. Like particularly, like there's not a bunch of random symbols or shapes that appear. There's a lot of white backgrounds with my personalization code. Things like that are actually very useful for me because it means less work for editor Victor later. Okay, so let's see what these ones come up with, and then go from there. Okay, you could see the dramatic lighting inside of the fantasy series immediately took over, which is great. We have this sort of like harsh, almost like 5 p.m. sunset, like 5 p.m. sun on a lot of the Phantasma series. And you could see that came out in the very first result. It's right there. All the lights being kind of handled that way looks like it. But it is really interesting that it's able to take this and go, okay, I can turn this into Kravis, right? So we'll focus on that one first. That one's the one with without any sort of personalization code. But but this is the one with it. And you can see here that with, at least with my personalization code, I'm not really liking the results of this one nearly as much. This is probably better for the sake of getting certain details right. But I really like this first result here, just without any of the additional parameters, just working off of Phantasma as a style reference, and then Kravis is the character for the character reference. But we can now go to editor and finish this, make it actually look like Kravis's character. And that's very easy to do. We just take everything that's wrong, okay? Something like this. We're going to expand the canvas a little bit because, you know, Kravis's hair is a little bigger, so we're going to make the meme a little bigger by doing this. We will take his hair here, something like that. Okay. And I'm going to keep it the same otherwise, because we're really just trying to enforce that we want this to look like Kravis, the character. So I'm just selecting whatever is not right about it. He doesn't wear a puffy hoodie jacket like Drake does. But the fact that it worked, the fact that it translated this so easily and so fast is so exciting and weird and fun to mess with. So I really can't wait to see everything else that we end up doing here, because there's so many memes now. I'm so excited about all these memes. So let me take a sip of my smoothie here while this goes on. I'm going to open up the text chat here so that we can see what you guys are talking about. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So I added some memes for you guys to play with. I don't think I can do both at the same time today because I'm still new to the editor, but I'm keeping an eye on the chat and talking to all of y'all. Some of you guys came to my event earlier, which was Chillustrations, where we talked about 2-sentence horror stories and the Russian sleep experiment, and we animated those, or not animated, but illustrated them, and it was really, really fun. And I want to thank you for that, and let you guys know that this weekend we have Prompt Battles. Prompt Battles is a game that we play where we all prompt the same suggestion for 10 minutes and come back and show each other what we did. And after we come back, we do a voting round for a couple minutes, and then whoever wins that vote is to choose the next thing we all do and win a free fast hour. And you don't have to win a free fast hour. You can actually win just by participating. People are really nice, and we're going to be there for a good 16 hours this weekend, like usual. And you don't have to stay for them all. If you come and see us, we'd really love it. You can come and go as you please. Maybe just play one round, maybe play 3 rounds, maybe play them all, whatever you want to do. A lot of the people in here are always there, and it's a lot of fun. I will swing it back to Victor.
Thank you for that announcement too, Kinky. I'd highly recommend everyone go to Prompt Battles. It's so much fun. All right, so we got some other recognized names here already. By the way, I see we have Hillgarden, we got Senior Carlos, we got Dumpster. Oh man, it's good to have the regulars here. Fungi Mancer. Oh man, I love having all you guys here and seeing what we can do with this new editor. By the way, we're now built in with the bricks on Prompt Battles. Good, yes. I would hope that you guys are regular faces there. So I'm gonna just keep this one here. It's not the best. We could in-paint Felix's hair a little bit more here, but I do want to link this to Felix here, because now that we have this, I can just upload this to my gallery really quick. Click that button, upscale to gallery, and I'm going to post this inside of not just his character thing here, but I have a challenge here under the Gnarly Studios server. We have a couple different challenges for you guys. And one of them is the Make a Meme challenge, which the best results from today are we should post to this thread here. So at least that's what I'm going to do. After we're all done here, I'm going to see what are my favorites from the memes you guys make, and then we'll collect them all in one place to make our own reactions. So if we now go to my account here, it's still upscaling, so let's just give it a moment. All right. Almost done. And and done. Okay. So now I'm going to copy this image. And then I'm going to hop us back over to my server, paste this into here, but instead of linking directly to it, because it is with the new editor, we can't really do /show as well. We will be able to do hashtag and then write Kravis, and you'll notice that his character like is actually an accessible thing you could just search for on the server. So now I could just post this, and we have a meme with Kravis. We could do the Drake meme at any time with Kravis, with Felix Rex's character here. So there you go. That's how I navigate our server, combining with the new retexture function. I'm gonna keep messing with some of you guys' memes today. Feel free to post them inside of VC text. They are getting shared. We can definitely look at a couple of these. I really do want to work with this one. But you notice here, it's only going to take the first frame of the GIF, right? Which is rarely the image people actually remember. Okay. So there are two ways to bypass this problem. Okay. Because if I just use the GIF link, it's not going to be the frame people remember. The people will remember the frame where he's holding the cigarette out from his hand, like towards his face, not the very first frame of the GIF. So there is the ability just to search for the actual shot. So like, Always Sunny meme, and then Pepe. I think it's like, yeah, Pepe Sylvie, right? You could just search images and then find that frame just amongst people's like edits here. So like there you go. This is the frame that we need for that. I'll look for, see if there's a bigger version of it. That one will work. But say you have a meme or a GIF or something where you don't have access to the exact frame that you want. Okay. This is a pretty useful tool to have if you have access to Photoshop, but other image editors can do this too. We are going to take the GIF. Okay. This GIF right here. We're going to take that GIF and we're going to save it on our computer somewhere. Okay. And now I'll hop us over to Photoshop and I'll grab that meme and I'll just drag and drop it into Photoshop. You'll notice that every frame shows up as a layer, right? If we go to now Window and then slide down to Timeline, you'll now have access to the GIF itself as a playable thing, okay? So if you want to find the specific frame to reference, the only thing you have to do is hit pause. There you go. I have it saved at that moment. And we just see what frame that is. It's frame 11, okay? So that means that if we scroll all the way down, that means that it's layer 11. And you'll see that it has the little eyeball, as in that's the currently visible layer. That's the layer that we want out of this. So let's just click that and copy it. And we can now bring that over to our session here. So let's go to VC Create and post this here. There you go. That's how easy it is to extract a frame from a GIF. There are websites that also let you that just give you an interface to do this without using Photoshop. But that's the fastest, easiest way for me to do it, is just to open it in Photoshop. But now that we have this, okay, I'm going to grab a link to this image. I'm going to go to the new editor. Let's hit New, from URL, paste the URL. Okay, now that we have this, who do we want doing this? Let's see here. Okay, wow. Let me go ahead and grab one of your all's characters here. So let's do character porting. And I'm going to grab, let's see, is there anyone else that has a suit? I'm curious if we have any other characters with suits. A lot of them are the fantasy characters, but I'm curious if we have any other suits. Okay, we do have Festus Vilmer, which is kind of like a white devil version of my character. I love Gompasta's character here, and I even did little riff comics with them. Because this is a continuation of another comic that they made. So I love working with this stuff with you guys. So They have a little bit of a backstory here, and then they have their character reference. So let's go ahead and grab that reference, like so. And then I'm going to go to retexture. Let's get rid of Felix here. Paste that. Now we have his character reference in there. And we're going to have to describe the meme as a conspiracy theorist with papers all over the wall, covering the wall. Conspiracy with papers covering the wall. Okay, let's just go with that. And then I'll put my personalization code in there to make it a little more anime-esque for what I'm doing. And then we'll go from there. See what we get. Because keep in mind, we are working with Midjourney version 6.1, which by default doesn't give us like anime aesthetic necessarily. But with my personalization code anyway, we tend to lean results that might be more useful in that regard. So you can see we definitely got the pose right and the character in there, but it's not perfect. I would argue that we would need to do a little more to make this a little more like the character. So we can do that pretty easily by grabbing other examples that the artist has made, of like Golden Pasta has made of this character. So let's grab a couple images. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Let's let's not do the 4th one because Victor-like characters in there. Let's go ahead and remove that one. We'll just do the one with the 3 of these with Festus as the character, as the subject here. So let's copy that one here. Go to the editor, paste that image, go to the second image, paste that as well, and then the 3rd image. Okay. Now, before we hit enter, we have to make sure we switch this to style references, which is the middle button here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And now let's resubmit on. We have to make sure we clicked on that original image. You see how I got rid of everything I just did? So, yeah, we need to make sure we do that in the right order. So we first make sure that we click on the actual original image, and then we grab our links again. When I screw up, guys, that's a learning lesson for the rest of y'all. Only I am.
Absolutely. Can I ask,
Yeah, go ahead.
can I ask you what your prompt is up top? Because I can't really see it.
Oh, it says conspiracy theorist with papers covering the wall.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Let me try actually making. I can't actually zoom in and out. Okay, yeah. So that's as big as it's gonna get. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you don't want to anyway because it hides things. I was trying to stream it the other day, and it'll hide.
Yeah, it'll hide buttons. Yeah, it hides buttons whenever you rescale it too small and stuff too. So there are limits to this. But let's go ahead and submit this with the style references set for Felix here and a character reference as well. So let's submit this, and we'll do one without my personalization as well, just to see what the difference is on that. All right, let's take a look.
Metal Girl, I love that.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, go ahead.
Oh no, I think Metal Girl made like a spotted lanternfly out of me, and it's amazing.
That's awesome.
I think it's me.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Okay, so by setting the style reference, we were able to get it a little bit better in terms of the look of like, you know, kind of anime-esque or whatever, but it's still a bit muddled. Like we still lose the character a good amount inside of these images here. So what I can suggest instead is we take the image that is closest, right? Like I like this one a lot, but I think this one's probably closest, and we could just edit it to match a little better. Definitely. But what did Rhapsody do here? Let's see. Gotta go fast. Wow, did you really just do that? Did you really just make this? Yes, it's crazy that you could do this in a matter of minutes. That's awesome. Oh man, that is awesome. See, this is what I meant by the power of these new tools, guys. So good.
Plus, you guys can like upload them to Giphy and have a URL for them and put them wherever you want.
Exactly. Okay. I don't think we have an old man character. I would love to do an old man character for Bernie here. I think that would be pretty funny. So if you guys have a character in mind for Bernie, that would be great. Whoever this Logic Lane is, I like that. That's a good one, Spooky. Okay, so at this point, I'm just kind of scrolling through. Oh my god, all the Drakes. Is someone doing my hair? What is the prompt here? I'm gonna take his hair here. Okay. Yes. In fact, we were Rhapsody and I were talking about getting haircuts recently. I need to get my hair cut. I really do. This is appropriate. These I would say this fourth image here is pretty appropriate. I got one today. Yeah. Look at that. That's just amazing that you're able to do that with this. It's so freaking cool. Okay. All right. Let's do this then. Let's grab not Bernie. Yeah, we could do the Uno one. And I will definitely have to do the Twin Peaks one a little later, but I want to do this one here. So let's copy this image address. But the thing is that we only really need the right side of this because this is just the draw 25 beam on the left, right? So let's copy this image and I'll bring it really quickly into Photoshop here. Oops, that one here. And I'm only going to select the right side of the image here. We really actually, we really only need, we don't even need all this bottom here. We just need to get him and then we can expand it out later as needed. But we'll grab this here, paste that image inside of VC Create. Okay. And then let's go back up to the editor here. Let's pick a new one. Edit new image, URL, paste that URL. And let's try to stick with Felix here for a sec. I'm curious. Let's see, like Devil, Felix, not Felix. I'm sorry, I keep saying Felix. It's this Gompastas character here. Gompasta actually has a description that they recommend for this character as well. So it's a demon wearing a white shirt is the recommended prompt for this. So let's do that. So a demon wearing a white shirt, holding a deck of cards, or holding cards, holding many cards. We'll just do that. And let's just submit this and see what we get with that. Oh, that's right. Retexture. Boom. We might need to say playing cards instead of just cards. We'll have to see what kind of comes up. Oh, I forgot to switch my camera. My bad, guys. There we go. A demon wearing a white t-shirt holding many cards. Okay. Okay. This is funny. This is hilarious, actually. Okay. So if we wanted to bring this in to be more like the anime aesthetic, right? We probably need to lean even more towards the style reference, but it works. Like it understands that these are all playing cards. That's amazing. So if we wanted to at this point, I could try to force a little more of the anime aesthetic in there. I really like using the Sage Comics for this purpose particularly. It just gives me some really clean line art. So I'm going to do that again. Let me quickly grab that. And done. Grabbing that for here. Boom. That'll include all the style references for this, and I'm just going to submit this back under as a retexture. And we'll see if it gives us a little bit cleaner. Instead of this more like painterly backgrounds and all that, that's what I'm trying to avoid. But that's also what Midjourney just does. It just gives us these kind of results by default, even with my personalization code on there. So I'm curious if this helps that or not. We'll just have to see. All right, let's see what other memes you guys are getting into here. This is basically a preview of the nameless story I've been writing. That's awesome. That is so cool, Spooky. Love that. Okay, so it didn't really do much to do with the style reference on there. Just kind of muddled it up even more, honestly. So that was a bit of a bust. That's okay. We could always edit this image here, right? And make it look more like it. But until we get this new editor inside of Niji, we might run into limits like this in terms of the trying to make it specifically an anime style or anything like that. But with this example, I would literally just come into here and start editing whatever doesn't really work, right? So I would say something like this, and then we can kind of see it from there. See if it's able to make improvements on this. Submit. But let's see here. What happens if we use cartoon characters like this? It's going to be a horror show. I can imagine it's going to be awful, but I'm very curious what happens. So let's go ahead and copy this image address, especially if you use something like this from SpongeBob. This will be awful. But I'm curious now. We have these edits that are run here. And you can see that for the most part, why does it randomly go lower res? Okay, yeah, here we go. Let's stick with this. I think this one here is probably the best out of these for the sake of this character here. All right, let's move on to another one. And we will hit edits, and then new image. And we're going to try this funky SpongeBob one really quick. Because I know my characters, I think I'm going to put Vicky in there and just see what happens. It's going to be awful, but I'm almost sure that if we do any character, it's not going to work well for this one. But I am curious what it does. So let's do it. I'll go ahead and prompt for Vicky really quick. Now, if you guys have not done /prefers yet and you want to know how to do it, it's pretty easy. So I currently have a whole bunch of characters saved inside of my Midjourney account. And that's done with hyphen and then the character's name. So I can say Vicky, and that will bring up Vicky, all of her links. And with just a bunch of links, it just blends all these images together. So we need to make sure there's parameters around the word Vicky for this to work properly. But what I did there was I used /prefer. And then you see the first thing that comes up here is prefer option set. And then you can see this is where all my characters are saved, at least a bunch of the characters from you guys here. And we can just say the character's name that we want to give. So we had nameless last week. It's really just whatever links give you reliable character art. You just want to give it a name. So for the sake of this one, it's Vicky. And then under plus more, we're going to hit value. And that's where we paste all the links for Vicky in here. Okay. So it's very easy to just save characters that way and make it so that we can easily pull up these links later. So I have these links now. I'm going to write hyphen cref in the front of it. And then I'm going to copy that chain and bring this into the editor and then paste that here. And now we got to describe this. Okay. So it's two people sitting at the edge of a cliff. Okay. And then I'll submit this. Now I don't have my Sage Comics on there either. So let's grab that too. That was earlier. So let me grab that inside of here. Style references go. And paste that. Okay. And then I will submit this as a retexture for this. Yes. Okay. So without a style reference, we do get Vicky sitting at the edge of it. Hold on, let me zoom in for you guys. We got square Vicky next to triangular Vicky. Wow. Okay. SpongeBob is like her fake like her cardboard computer friend. Oh, that's so silly. These are all without a style reference for the Sage Comics, though. So with the Sage Comics, though, you could see we still have SpongeBob there. It's still very much SpongeBob, but it has some sort of overlay, some sort of artistic interpretation that's there that is so weird and interesting to me. But we could take this one here and easily just edit it to better match Vicky here, because everything in terms of the eyeglasses and all that works, right? So I'm just gonna kind of select this general area here. I kind of like that she has Patrick's pointed forehead right now. I'm just gonna leave that because it's funny to me. And then we just hit submit and edit here. So instead of it relying on the retexturing, we're just gonna do an edit of this image and just get her sitting on the side of the clip with a cardboard box that looks like SpongeBob. Why? I don't know. It's we're just riffing things today. Okay, let's see what this one comes out to and then go from there. All right. So by doing a quick edit, we definitely got her sitting on her knees. That's awesome. So, we would need to inpaint the hair to be different, right? But it does work. It certainly works. Wait, Enid, what did you just do? Hold on a second. Look what Enid did with the conspiracy theory image. Oh my God, that is awesome. I have to pull this up on the main screen here. Look at that. That is just awesome. It's like, I have all the beauty tips. I have found every beauty tip you can imagine. Look at all these examples. Like, yes, like this is such a fun way to reimagine the the memes and stuff that we're so familiar with, right? The reference was so blurry. It is, yeah, it's amazing what it's able to interpret, right? The higher res the image, the better, of course. I mean, that's also another benefit of searching for screenshots, right? So like, for example, I see that a Spooky Time Lord posted the spoilers GIF from Doctor Who. So if I just search that really quick, spoilers Doctor Who, and then make sure I go off screen before that renders, because I don't want you guys to get spoilers for a show you might be watching. But it is a very famous meme. So I want to find the non-GIF version of it very quick. Screenshot. It's not coming up very easily. Let's see here. Is there any of them that are big? I'm just kind of scrolling through Google right now, trying to see if there's any bigger versions of this GIF. And I'm not seeing it right off the bat. So let me pull this up for you guys. So we have Doctor Who here, right? We have the spoilers GIF. If I now like search for, we search for this and we go under images and then go to tools. We can go to size and then large. And maybe we'll find the highest version of it, like the largest res version that someone has uploaded. But most likely someone just upscaled the low res version of it. Like it's not exactly the best way to do. The best way to do this would actually be to screen grab it from the actual episode, right? But for now, I think it's fine if we just grab this lower res one. Screw it. Let's just do it. Grab this here. And the thing is, again, people are going to recognize the putting the finger in front of the mouth, right? They're not going to recognize where she's looking down at the device. So we gotta save this GIF. Open it up into Photoshops. And then find that moment inside the timeline. I'll say that it's probably for the cleanest result, because remember, there's also something called frame blending, which happens when you have like interpolation between frames. It just the motion blur, all that kind of stuff is what we want to avoid. So there's a little bit of motion blur on her finger on the other frames around this one, but this one should work fine. So I'm going to grab this one here, copy this, and I'll save this one for later because that is a funny image of Vicky here. So let's upscale that to gallery and then upload a new one here. So let's go to new URL. Oops. Let's paste that image first inside of VC Create here for you guys. Look at all these punks. Okay, so we have this here from URL. Paste the URL. Oh, we gotta I keep forgetting to change my screen. Sorry, guys. So now we have the URL for this spoilers image here. Okay. Now we might want to make this actually like the joke be that she says the word spoilers and then she looks down at the device, right? So we could do this twice. If we can get the styles to match well enough, we might be able to do this twice. So I want to make sure that we do like a style reference of the Sage comics again, because I want to try to do 2 images and have them match, right? We could also stack them and then upload them as a single image and see if that works, because that will keep the styles more uniform. But we'll do it both ways here for you guys today. So first I will grab the style references for the Sage comics, which if you guys want them, by the way, I'm just going to paste it inside of VC text for you guys, the full chain for that style reference there. So there you go. And now I am going to paste that into here and then describe what we're seeing. So let's say that it's a woman looking at a sci-fi device in her hands. Oh, wait. Is this the wrong image of her? Oh, darn it. Okay, hold on a second. My bad. I got to restart this because I am using that GIF now by accident. I am not using the image that I promised. Okay, my bad, guys. I forgot inside of Photoshop here what I did wrong. So in Photoshop here, I'm not on the correct layer. I need to scroll on up here until I see layer 27 and then copy this layer and now paste that into VC Create. There you go. Now we have her in the correct pose. I can copy that as a link here and we will hit new edit from URL, paste the new URL, and now we have her doing that. Woman looking at a sci-fi device, shushing with her hands, or like, let's do shushing. Is it going to understand what shushing is? Shushing with one finger. Let's just do that. Let's see what it does. Oh, that's right. Retexture. Boop. And then we'll go from there. See what happens. I hope you guys are doing well today. It's been it's been a pretty wild day for a wild week or two for me. Just a lot of things going on in my life that has pulled me away from being online at all. So I've been wanting to make comics and it's just not kind of worked out for me lately. So I unfortunately I will be delaying my next Sage comic just by a week or so. I wanted to get something out here during October, but it was just too much going on for me. But look here. All right. So we have Vicky's jacket. I would say this one's probably, yeah, I would say that it's this one. It's probably the best out of those, but we want to do an edit here and start to correct, like I don't mind her wearing the finger gloves, right? For the sake of what we're doing here. I just want her hair to be correct. Okay. So let's go ahead and select any part of the hair that's wrong. Like so. It looks like she's kind of holding a book, which is fine, but I also want to get rid of whatever interpreted the text as. And kind of come up to here. Let's get that. That's good. I think that should be fine. Her hair is a little bigger on this side, though. So let's go ahead and just get rid of all this white stuff here. And then hit submit. Okay. So if we wanted this to be style matched, like with a different frame from this, it's pretty easy to do. We'll go into Photoshop really quick while this is rendering. And I'm going to now double my canvas height. So I'll go to canvas size. I'll put it on the bottom here. So that means that whatever change I do, it's going to expand from the bottom up. And then I'm going to set the height from 450. I could just write 900 because it's easy to do math, but let's do 200%. That's just an easy way to do it. And then we'll grab that first frame, just like it is on the Drake meme. Okay. We'll grab that first frame and then drag that up to the top. Okay. And because we knew that it was layer 27 earlier, I'm just going to get rid of everything else except for layer 27 and turn that one on. And there you go. Now we have two of these frames, one on top of the other. I'm just going to merge these together and then copy that and bring that into Discord here. Boop. And okay, here are those results really quick. I'm just looking for what matches the hair better because every little detail that we change, so this one's good. This one's good here. And then I can now come into here and start fixing the edge of her hair here, so on and so forth. You want to do this as iteratively as possible. And that way you're able to make a result that looks like your characters pretty quickly doing that. So let's submit this. Edit. Okay. Now let's make a new one really quick. Let's go to new. Oh shoot, that's right. I need to get a link for it first. So let's go submit this into VC text. Now we have this image. And the reason why we're doing it this way is because it lets us do a quick style match between the two reactions, right? So let's say woman looking, let's do two panels depicting a woman looking or just shushing with one finger. I don't know why I had the word looking in there for before. And then we'll hit submit. Keep in mind, I still have my style references on there. I still have my character references in there. I'm going to see how well it interprets doing two characters at the same time. And we'll just take it from there. All right, what memes are you guys submitting now? One a week.
It's been.
Yes, exactly. I'm so sorry that I had to impose that brain rot onto your all's head. I listened to way too much meme music, but yes, it's been 1 week to the minute. This is too funny.
Too funny.
No, I've been feeling kind of like no. I've been feeling a little bit under the creative weather, if that makes sense. It's just been hard for me to get inspired to do stuff lately. So like I'm always re-energized by you guys though. Just seeing what the stuff you guys want to do with Midjourney is just so exciting to me and interesting. The real question is
I not feel unfun sometimes, but that doesn't mean that you are unfun.
It's just the reality of we're all human beings, right? We only have so much, energy and stuff that we can really put into things. So it's like sometimes you just need a vacation, sometimes you need to take a break, sometimes you need like a proper hiatus, right? And I've been on an unofficial hiatus now for a couple weeks and much needed. I'm so happy now in terms of that, but it's just hard to get that engine going again. It's okay. It's all fine. It's normal. Let's take a look at these results though. Amazing that we got the retexture to work so well, but we do need to make sure that we're able to get this to be in line with Vicky here. So now I'll go to edit and we are basically just going to bring back all of Vicky's details here. Okay. So we have this here. She has big glasses on, so I want to make sure that's represented. Get her hair properly looking right here. Now, the thing is that her jacket is like a kind of a dark tone jacket, right? So like we want to make sure we get rid of a lot of this like bright jacket that she's wearing. And get rid of the text. I should have manually gotten rid of the text before doing this, but it's fine. I'm just gonna basically have it redo her body as much as possible here. Let's see what it does with this. Then I'll see what you guys are talking about inside of VC text here. Okay, I'm going to go with that. It's a complete change, but we're going to see what it does here. And submit. All right. The new editor sure does creating character turnarounds around much easier. It does, because you can just select, like, grab someone's existing character turnaround and just say, hey, retexture this to make it look like my character. You are going to notice some like weird inconsistencies. You're going to have to be looking for different problems than we had before. You know what I mean? Instead of there being, oh, there's a random missing finger and stuff, it'll be like, okay, now which generational things from previous images before the retexturing are now showing up in my result. Things like that, you know? But look at this. So by just getting rid of most of her body in here, we are able to get Vicky to show up in a way that I think is like much more like, this is great here. I love this. So let's, you know what she reminds me of? She reminds me of Ziggy from what is it? Like, she has a device that can help us travel through time or something like that. Let's go.
Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap. Thank you so much. Yes, we're going from Doctor Who to Quantum Leap. Thank you. But I want to come into here and just correct some of the last little bits of this here that are not right. So let's go for like this. Yeah, that should work. And then we submit. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh boy. We had some memes earlier, so let me grab one or two of those. Okay, this dog one's going to be really messed up. I'm not even going to attempt that one. I'm going to let you guys do that one. Oh, that's right. I want to do the Twin Peaks one. Okay. I'm a big... Oops. Why am I downloading this? Okay. Grab the link for this. And let's take a look at Vicky really quick. See what we got. You know, it's definitely blooming her hair out like crazy on the top there. But I can at least select the one that is the closest on the bottom here. So that's like this one, right? And I could also get rid of her character references here, by the way. I could just get rid of them, and then it'll try to conform to what's already in the image. So that's another option to kind of make this one closer. I do want to move on though, so that we can get some more memes in here from you guys. Let's go ahead and hit new. Paste the Twin Peaks meme. I like that it has the Virgin statue covering her crotch right in the background too. So let's let's get a Victor in here. Actually, I think Victor would be the most sense for the scheming side of things. But we can. Oh, here's Johnny. Yeah, that's a good one. You know what? Let's do Madison Strange. Let's do Madison Strange on the Twin Peaks one, because Twin Peaks is strange. It's a fun, weird show. So let's do that. So we have Madison here. CRF, paste her links and get that. Good. And now I will do a retexture. We are going to get rid of all of Vicky's images here. Still going to keep the Sage Comics on there because, again, we're working with version 6.1. I want to try to keep my styles at least consistent. New one for Rhapsody here. I could tell you about that, but that would be spoilers. That's awesome. Being able to so quickly animate with this stuff too is. Are you using Pika or any of the video editors, or are you just doing this with the retexture? Oh, Luma. Okay, you're doing it with Luma. Nice. That's awesome. Okay, let's submit this one. And we're going to have to change the prompt to scheming. Scheming. Let's just say scheming. Yeah, I can see that. I haven't messed around a lot with Luma, but I can see how it's easier to get loops out of it. Oh no. Let's see what it does here. Okay. Yes. This is a good one. It's just not really the right expression, but it's definitely posed all correctly. That is amazing for this. I want to try one without the style references for the Sage comics. Let's submit that and see what we get. All right. Without the Sage comics, it definitely matches the character art style more with the whole like kind of fantasy theming here. I do like this one a lot. Just the very first one we got. Okay. So we can go to edit here. And her hair is a little bigger than this. So let's try to make it a little bigger. She's wearing a little hat. So we want to kind of give it some room to give us the hat. Okay. Something like this. And then come into here like so. By the way, when you guys submit a character to the character portal, it is quite often that we end up reusing those characters often, right? So I highly encourage it if you're new here to make a character, submit it to Gnarly Studios, and we'll just keep using it inside of these streams here because it's just too much fun to put this all together here. So let's see what other details do we got. Her outfit is a little different than this. Like she doesn't wear a white button up underneath this. So let's go ahead and try to get rid of this here. Okay. Okay. All right, let's go for that. Yeah, let's go for that. Let's see what we get. And submit edit. Okay. Yes. Yes, more kinky memes. Okay, and of course I have to do the Here's Johnny one with Victor. I just have to at this point. It's too tempting for me. Okay, but we're here with the hat though. Yes. Okay, this one's perfect in my opinion. We could definitely make the hat fit a little better, but for now, I think this is great. I'm gonna upload this one. Okay, and again, I'll get that onto her character portal here a little bit later. But let's make a new one. New from URL, Johnny. Here's Johnny, and you know. Again, if I wanted to, I could get rid of the text ahead of time. Blah 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 blah. I'm not going to worry about that right now, but I am going to grab Victor. Again, we will do that by using the character portal, and we just go all the way to the top and search for Victor. And there's Victor's links here. Boom, copy. And now we will paste Victor into here. And it just has my stylization code on there. So like I'm just going to do head poking through hole. And then submit edit. I'm curious. Oh, sorry. Submit retexture. I'm curious how little the prompt actually matters for this stuff. Like we could easily just write anything like penguin. And then probably get a slightly penguin version of Victor in there or something like that. But it's probably more important to change the character weights than anything else, you know?
My thing should be penguinized.
Right?
Penguinized is a great word.
I love you like all my bullshit words? Yeah.
I love
All right, here's Victor. I like these. I like these. It definitely gave me a bunch of facial hair because that's in the original image, right? But let's see. I think this is probably the best one here. Yeah. So we could take this, go to editor, and get rid of all the facial hair. Again, I haven't set a style reference for this, so that's why you see some like harsh realism that gets introduced with these results. But it's amazing that you can use character referencing with the editor at all, in my opinion. I didn't think we'd be able to do this, but look at this. We're able to do it. It's amazing.
Oh, good.
It is wicked how well this works. It's incredibly exciting for traditional artists, particularly because it means they can adapt their existing works and do things in ways that they may have had trouble doing with before, particularly posing their characters in ways that may not look the way that they are, just trying out new ways to do things. So you can see, look how it changed Victor's smile to kind of be like his kind of crooked jackass smile. Perfect. And so I'll go ahead and upload this one as well. Upload to gallery. Madison. Here's Maddie. Love that. Enid. Nice. See, look how fast you guys are doing this. It's amazing to be able to just quickly get these riffed versions of popular memes with your characters. Okay. So let's try. Let's see. I did have one earlier, didn't I? Oh, did it not submit? Okay, yeah, it was this one, Madison Strange. Okay. So at this point, we have a ton of memes for you guys. We made a bunch of fun stuff here today. I am curious from here what utility we can actually make of this outside of just making spoopy memes and stuff like that. We've had a lot of fun doing this, but I want to try something a little different. Okay. Inside of most of my results, you're going to find the references, the Sage comic references here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab one of those images and we're going to use that as a remix or a retexture. So let me grab that really quick. Not that one. I don't want one that's too complicated. Let's do this one here. Okay. Whenever I make a style reference, I try to use a version of my comics that doesn't have any of the text written on it. This is done because I don't want Midjourney to look at that text, to read the text, and then interpret that text at all. So, like, if Sage was talking about, but just like some food or something like that, I don't want that food to start showing up in my results, for example. So I blank out all the text from the comics that I'm referencing. But what I can do then is come up to here and go into edit. We'll hit new. I am going to get rid of everything because we're going to just start off blank with this one. I'm sure you can retexture another character on there, Rhapsody, 100%. But let's go ahead and hit edit on here. Okay, so here's the Sage comic. Okay. And now I am just going to describe what I want to see from this, right? So let's do stop motion animation and just see if it's able to interpret that without giving it any sort of visual references or anything like that. Submit retexture. The Enchanted Forest versus the Phantasma Castle, and then it's the turning. Wow. Okay, that's awesome. Just to give you guys a quick visual of that here. That's the edited version with the three guys driving the Flintstones car versus the original meme. What I find funny about this, by the way, is you could 100% put a horse in the front of that, in front of that fantasy car. That would work. All right, let me get rid of all my other tabs. I have way too many tabs now. All right, let's see what our results are for this. Oh my God. Okay. So for saying stop motion animation, we got a version of Sage and her mother talking that are different kinds of like claymation. Like I like these first two a lot. Let me zoom in here for you guys. This is awesome. Like this looks so cool. And the speech bubbles became like mirrors in the background. Okay, so that's the original comic. And now here's her retextured as like a cloud. So say I really like this result, right? I can go into the editor here, and I don't have anything referencing this, right? So I can easily just come into here and select everything that feels a little wrong about this. And this girl has black hair now, so let's go ahead and see if it'll encourage the black hair. Let's see if it still sees it as a character here. It may not, but we'll see. And then we'll submit this. And because I have made no reference to who these characters are or anything, I might need to write stop motion animation featuring two people. One has black hair, one has blonde hair, that kind of thing. But the more I write, the more it pigeonholes it, puts it into a place, or an expectation. So I usually leave the prompts as wide open as possible because it tends to use whatever's in the image to decide what to do. And look what it did. It did exactly what I wanted to do. It gave that girl black hair on 3 out of the 4 results right off the bat. That is incredibly useful. Did you put a... Hold on. Okay, man. So you're such a jackass. So no, I troll for you. Jesus Christ. You're the jackass. This is great. This is great.
He's trolling for you.
This is hilarious. The horse right this one? Yeah. That's exactly what I meant. Oh, man. That's too funny. Oh, man. Sorry I called you a jackass there, Fun Guy Mancer. I meant to call I troll for you a jackass. Yes. This is hilarious. Good job. Love it. Love it. Okay. So you can see here that we got the black hair on this character here, which is exactly what we wanted, but now we want the outfit to match. So let's go ahead and try to get the outfit here. And then an eye for the ear. And then submit that. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. I love you guys. It's too freaking funny. All right, let's see if this is enough. Oh yeah, look, we got her outfit here. That's awesome. Okay, so we got it on the second result. We didn't get an eye for Sage on the bottom here, but that's fine. We can now just select a much larger area here. Okay. And hopefully it will fix this. They kind of look like they're in, I don't know, like some kind of like, I don't know, like 18th century, like fur hunting, out like they're just out in the woods somewhere. But let's just hit submit on this. It's like the Vitch.
I really do like the style of that one.
It looks really cool. Like I'll be sure to share this with you guys. Yeah, anytime you guys reference animes, by the way, like what Rhapsody's doing here, like this will be perfect for doing any sort of Sage Michael stuff too, just because like the art styles are going to translate very easily. I'm not ashamed to say that it's like anime inspired Dutch cartoons. It's like what I'm going with here. Here's Enid. That's awesome. Okay, so we couldn't get Sage's other eye there to show up very easily. I could force it just by drawing it or anything on top of there. But for now, I'm just going to upscale this so we have it for later, and we'll just take it from there. Okay, cool. So that was a really cool reskin, a really cool retexture purpose of it. So for example, say you have a comic series where your character is, maybe interacting with some sort of like dimensional portal or something like that. And you just wanted for one panel, maybe two, to have your character in an alternate dimension, right? you can easily say stop motion or a different art style than your own. Type it in there, like draw it normally, draw how you make your comics, and then use only the re-textured version of it for your like hyper realistic alternate universe work. You know, like one of my favorite episodes of The Simpsons was the one with the third dimension where they introduced 3D for The Simpsons for the first time. They find like a portal inside of their living. It's one of the Treehouse of Horror episodes. It's such a famous one, and it literally ends with Homer entering reality, right? So you could do that on your own without any like professional help whatsoever. You don't need to like do any rotoscoping or anything like that. You can just do it with Midjourney now, and it just blows my mind. We do it the exact same way we're doing here with retexturing existing images. So, you know, like whether it's an anime GIF or anything like that, that's fine. But it's so much more interesting when you can incorporate it into like some kind of workflow or a project that you're doing, right? This was a little example of that. Yeah, here you go. Gom Pasta shared the GIF here. A piece of cake, son, and then just falls in the portal. Yeah, exactly. So if I took like really any anime protagonist, right? You could easily put Victor in there. There's so many different ways we could interpret this, but I really just wanted to highlight the most exciting parts of the new editor for me. And I want to see what you guys can do with it, you know? So feel free to share that to the Gnarly Studios Discord is probably the best place to do it. But at least to get me to see it, I can sometimes be inundated with messages and stuff and have trouble keeping up with them. So it's best to just submit it to the server so that everyone else can also kind of riff on it and have fun with it. To be honest, at this point, I didn't really have much else planned for today. I was really expecting the memes to kind of take over, and they did. We definitely had a lot of fun today. But we do something called an after party on our server, where you can come in and jump on the stage and speak to us, ask any questions that you want, but also just hang out and get to know us. We have a pretty robust team now. With Rhapsody, I Troll For You, and so many others that come in regularly just to hang out and see what you guys are up to, project-wise, life-wise, whatever you guys want to talk about. We kind of make it this little social circle for all of us here. So it's just so exciting to be able to have a proper community, and you guys are just amazing at just being there for me and for the rest of us here. So whether you're making a comic, you're making a film, I want to hear about it. I want to hear what you guys are doing. So be sure to join the server. You can find it inside of VC Tech's. Kinky, thank you so much for linking it. And you could just hop in at any time to do that. But
I did have a
go ahead.
Quick thing that I wanted to ask you about. And it's funny that you use the word character Bibles today, because I was actually really thinking about character Bibles and you. You have that character portal. Do you have anything like people put like, general guidelines about their characters for people to follow using?
Yeah.
Them? Like a little Bible, mini Bible?
Exactly. So we recommend posting that with your character. So like you'll notice here that, for example, if I delete Victor here so that you guys can see the full list here, this character duality that Metal Girl Solid posted, they posted an entire little like kind of backstory and stuff for the character, so that if you do want the creator to like what you're making, to see your stuff being used in their projects and stuff, you want to read whatever they post as the main post inside of the character portal, because they're going into really great detail about what Duality's life is like and everything like that, the history behind the character. And most of these characters have that, like they have some sort of backstory or they have some sort of plot that they want to follow. But they also have inside of the character portal, when you submit a character, you're going to notice that there are tags that you can apply. And those tags, you can see here, those tags actually help us make results that you'll more likely use or like. So like Miss Nameless, for example, the only reason I knew to make her mischievous and sarcastic was not just because of Snoopy's wit, but also because of the villain tag that they used. I just knew that this had to be a character that gets themselves in trouble a lot, that kind of thing. Villain was perfect for that, so they selected villain. That's the kind of stuff that really helps us be able to, to get a result that I think will, generally speaking, get us into a, like an exciting place where all of our characters are kind of like collabing and crossing over into each other's worlds. The new editor can do some really amazing stuff for that. So I'm curious to see what you guys do. I want you all to join the server so that we're able to all chat after this stream. I've probably cut it a little earlier than normal, but I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to do that just yet. But it is something that I'm excited to start messing with. I do want to take the one request that we had here, which is for my troll free, who said this is the perfect Victor character. Why not? Why not? Let's go ahead and take this. Again, it's only going to take the first frame of this. So we're going to hit copy image address. We're going to come into the new editor. We'll hit new. Edit from URL. Okay. And what we're going to do is we have this pose here. We are going to take, let's say, villain approaches or something like that. Just a villain, just anything with villain would probably work for this. But we need to make sure we grab Victor. So we will come into the character portal here, grab Victor here. Okay. Paste that into here. You can see because I have -serif in front of those links, it automatically set it all as a character reference. Super handy to have, so you don't have to manually click all these. Villain approaches, and then I'm going to put my personalization code in there, just so everything's a little cleaner for my purposes. And I won't worry about a style reference. I'll just hit submit on this, and we'll see what kind of wacky styles we get off of this. For submit retexture. You want to test something? I'm sorry, say it again.
Fundamancer was asking if you could share the Siege comic panel where you were messing with earlier.
Sure. I'm happy to do that. Let me get that for you.
Fundamancer would like to test. Something.
Yeah. Let me grab that for you. Not this one. This one. Okay. And I'll hit reply to you and then paste it here. And there you go. So when I made this panel, by the way, before I go into these results, when I made this panel here, I got a lot of a lot of people were really frustrated with this because I kept telling them that what was drawn was generated, what was generated was drawn. There was a lot of artist friends of mine that got really upset by this action, this showing of the multiple hands and movement and whatnot. What was generated off of this was the original outward hands. So her arms coming down to here, hand out, arm coming out down to here, hand out. Everything else between this and this is drawn. So I drew the two other hands and then I drew the movement between them and also the smears as well. I drew all of that because that's what I saw in my head when I saw this original image. I saw her going like, no, like pushing her hands up to the side, and to evoke that, I gave her those extra hands in there, and I still don't know whether or not there would have been like a better, like I could have put more smears to make this a little more like blended between them, because my partner definitely mentioned that she kind of has two hands for breasts if you look at this as a still image. Like her arms are coming out of her chest. But it all blurs together, and for the people who are reading it in that comic in that moment, it's not a big deal. It works. But if you overanalyze cartoons like that, you'll notice these weird, especially with smears. Smears are a really easy way to like get over invested. I'm glad you like it though, Enid. I was pretty happy with this panel. But then they were like, oh, but then you put the time to draw the plates and bowls and things. And I'm like, no, I didn't draw that at all. That was all Midjourney. And Midjourney put in all the background elements in here. Photoshop beta actually did most of the construction of it. So like there's all these different steps that I'm taking to build this. And then the most frustrating them is to go like, okay, but at least you drew the characters, right? And I'm like, no. Most of these characters are generated. What's drawn from the characters is actually a lot of color correction and a lot of small details, things you wouldn't really notice, like the fern, for example. This is a generated fern, but it's been manipulated like a puppet and then given a stroke on the outside in order to match the character styles. Damn, now I can't see the armpits, or they can only see the armpits. I know, right? That this is really frustrating. I'm so sorry that I now have this pointed out to you, but yes, she does look like she has 4 arms, and 2 of them are coming out of a place unfortunate. But yes, but when it came to Vern, though, like putting the stroke around Vern and stuff like that, that's literally just a generated image of a fern, right? That I have saved, that I access to him, and then I just gave him a stroke outline that matches at least similarly to the stroke that's on the outside here. I actually screwed up on her hip here. I didn't even clean up the backside of her hip well here. So these things are the things I noticed only like well after the fact. I'm like, damn it, I should have fixed this. I should have fixed this. There's so many things I could have fixed, but it doesn't matter. You're making a comic that people are going to stare at for 2 seconds while they're pooping and then they move on. Okay. But that's the reality of it when you're making cartoons today for Reddit. Okay. There's a lot of good that comes out of this image, but I'm also real about what it is. Let's go ahead and take a look at the results of this edit here. Trust me, and I have stuck on a single comic for 3 weeks before. Okay, because I'm obsessive.
I watched you clean up images on here, and you're very, very, very thorough about it.
Yeah, it's too much actually. But yeah, be realistic about it. People aren't going to pay attention for the most part. One of the loudest and most negative people are going to make a big stink about it. She's just preparing early for Armistice Day. Jesus, Ancient. All right, you get a laugh from me on that one. But all right, let's take a look at this little edit here. And yes, you are right. I troll for you. This is a rather perfect character to mess with Victor in particular. Because look how good the posing is with him. It's great. And I do oftentimes get compared to like other black-haired anime antagonists because they're everywhere. It's like literally a standard within anime is that if there's like a broody villain character, he has black spiky hair, right? This to me is just leading into that more. It's just to me, I have no shame about it because why would I? It's called a trope for a reason. Like it's a it's just a commonality, right? By the way, one of my favorite quotes was from another artist that I had read recently, which is originality is well, hold on. I really shouldn't misquote this. It was let me grab the actual quote. Hold on. I can literally just search one word and find it. I know. Just a second. Originality thrives in ignorance. That's the quote. Originality thrives in ignorance. And what that means is that if you really do feel like you're the first person to do something, you're probably not. You're probably just the person who recontextualized it in a way that is consumable and interesting to people right now. It's called making things in the now. You're making things for people right now. That's why like really topical humor tends to only work in a very small window of time, and to make things that are truly timeless is extremely hard to do. There's so many bad like movies that we can look back on now, and TV shows especially, that reference something that's happening like right now. Instead of going, okay, like for example, how many movies and from like the late 2000s, mid 2000s that talk about Twitter right now, right? Like it's no longer called Twitter; it's called X. Like these are things that change. The fact that we make entire identities around them is problematic and unfortunate. We want to make sure that we get to a place where what we're making is appreciated not just in the now, but weeks from now, months from now, years from now. And that's hard to do. Like, that's hard to be. It's one of the reasons I like making my comics set in the 90s, because it's something that is locked in time. I don't have to worry about my work being interpreted differently in the future. It's just comes down to the fact that, like, if you're being super topical, you might get popular in a very short term, but then you might not know why you're popular. You might not know what actually made you popular. But if you're able to say, "Hey, I made this, it's mine," and it speaks to a specific time period, then you're more likely going to be able to own that in a way. There's an amazing movie called Amadeus, right? And if I pull this up really quick, Amadeus.
While you're doing that, I wanted to give you something for your brain.
Yes, please.
And your mental health. It's a quote just like the one you just gave us, and it goes a little something like, "Perfection is the enemy of complete." So if it it helps. Right. Knowing that if you try too hard to narrow down every little thing, you'll never finish anything.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's the creator of MakerBot's one of the very few smart things that man has ever said. Was because he's not a creator, he's someone who lifted a bunch of other people's designs. But like the thing is about him is that he has he used a very similar quote where he's like, "Perfection is the death of creativity." And it just comes down to the fact that you really don't need to be like, the perfection is really only in the eye of the beholder. People are going to move on and do something else faster than they're going to think about what you did wrong. So,
yep.
But I did want to point out that Amadeus is a movie that was made in 1984, but you would never know it. You would never know that this was a movie made in the early 80s. It looks as good as a modern movie does. But it's because of the time period set in. I mean, it's literally about Mozart, a movie about Mozart. So without knowing specific film camera like pattern, like or aesthetics, you'll never know that this movie was shot on anything but film. So to me, that is the most timeless movie ever. Is Amadeus. So if you want something to watch tonight that you haven't seen yet, or I'm kind of guessing you haven't seen it, I highly recommend Amadeus. If you're wondering what the poster looks like, it looks like this. So just so you know what to recognize when you're looking for it on streaming services and stuff. It is certainly a great movie. I love this movie. Rock me, Amadeus. Yeah, exactly. As a matter of fact, Mozart and I go way back. That's great. Okay. 2 seconds while you go number 2. Yeah. Awesome, guys. Well, like I said, I didn't really have much else planned for today. I'm curious to see some of the other stuff. Is it topical like an ointment? Okay, you're so freaking witty. Damn it! I can't keep up with you. But it is true that I am at the end of what I had planned for today. If there's anything else that you guys want to explore here, feel free to talk about it inside of VC Text. But I think at 6:30, I'm going to start the after party on my server. You guys are welcome to come in and hang out and chat there. I'm very curious to see what projects you guys are up to. I probably should have started with a small introduction to myself because there are always new people here, and I'm usually I usually forget to do that. I apologize if you stuck around. But my name is Victor Gnarly. I'm a former visual effects artist for Cartoon Network and other animated series in Los Angeles and beyond. And most of my work was in stop motion animation for Robot Chicken, Oral, and a couple other shows. I got my start as an intern on a show called Titan Maximum. And we just did a lot of cleanup work, a lot of things that right now we would have probably fixed with AI, honestly. And it's part of the reason I got into this stuff was because I saw so much potential for what my job was, that I knew as a creative consultant kind of person now that it would be detrimental for me to avoid this stuff, or to, at the very least, not encourage people to explore it, because we are in a still ever evolving and changing time for us as creatives. And at least for me, a lot of my people that I used to work with are like really against AI in general. They really just don't like the entire generated approach to things, because it just means that there's not a human being, deciding what the images is at the end of the day. But in fact, that's wrong. That is the wrong mindset to have. It is another tool for the toolbox. That's what we all have now. That it's just how prolific it is that makes it more. Did you just take the Amadeus poster? Okay, hold on. See, this is what's so exciting about
She's so fast.
I know.
So fast.
I know. And this is what I mean by why the new editor is so freaking exciting. Look at this. They took the new poster and the man, the music, the madness, the murder, the motion picture, nameless. This is why I featured Spooky last week. Okay, you're wicked, man. You got this in the can. That is too good. That is too good. Yeah, right. Holy shoot. I'm so excited for this new retexture feature, guys, because you guys are just gonna go freaking ham on this stuff, and I'm just stoked to see what sort of jokes we can pull off, like especially like in the comment sections on Reddit. I'll be honest, I'm most excited about seeing this stuff in the wild than I am necessarily. Like, we don't need to coordinate anything. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that seeing you guys use your characters and then respond to people publicly, like in comment sections and stuff, would be the most exciting thing for me, because it means that like I might get a chance to see one of your characters reacting to things and whatnot. Know that if you do that in an artist-centric sub, they're probably not going to like it. But if you do it just about anywhere else, you're gonna get a really positive reaction. So the stuff like this Amadeus poster, is too freaking funny to me. So I imagine that if you go on to like your favorite Twitch streamers, right, and start replying to their stuff with these sort of images, they'll be fascinated and interested in what you're doing. That's for damn sure. The new retexture function can just do some really wicked stuff, as made evident by you all today. My God, I would really like the sort of stitch pattern. Let me actually save this one really quick, because I do like this Victor a lot. That's here. Let's save this one here. Upload to scale to gallery. But now if I go back to my gallery here, I was a big fan of the yarn version of Sage and her mother, which turned her mother into like a black-haired version of this puppet. Very, very cute. I really like this one. And we've just so many examples just from the stuff that we messed with from you guys here that I just wanted to show again for the people who weren't here earlier. We started with an image of Daenerys, right? And then it was this image here. And then we retextured it with Sage and my comics as the style reference. Okay. And then we moved on to highlight everything around her and tried to basically recreate as much of her, like keeping her proportions set by not inpainting her completely, only inpainting some of her. And then we fixed her hair, and that was it. We got someone that I would 100% say that's good. That's good for Sage, that kind of thing. So, yeah, it's awesome. Okay. Fun Guy Manser said, I wonder how it would be seen to stream some Midjourney workflows or creations on Twitch and put the tag as art. That's what I do, or at least I did for a while. I slowed down on my Twitch streaming because like I was just juggling too much stuff. I had an event I was going to that kind of completely derailed my month and a half that I had planned. So I have heavily moderated replies is probably the correct answer. Funny you should mention that. Yeah. Well, we'll see how that goes later, Kinky. I'm curious how that all pans out.
Oh,
but yeah, at this point, guys, I'm gonna just shoot you over to my server. We're gonna run the after party, and then until about 7, and then just kind of enjoy our Fridays. How does that sound? No, thank you so much, Getters. I really do appreciate it. And of course, thank you so much to AC and Kinky for co-hosting with me today. I really do appreciate your all's time.
You made a spoilers, Kinky. GIF.
Oh, let's take a look at that GIF. Oh, nice. Woo! That is spoilers. It's not even like you got surprised by the spoilers. That's what I'm seeing here. That is amazing. I love that so much.